The white government created Soweto in the 1930s under apartheid when it began separating blacks from whites by using the Urban Areas Act in 1923. Until 1976, its population could have status only as temporary residents, serving as workforce for Johannesburg. It experienced civil unrest during the apartheid regime. The Memorial Garden in the Hector Peterson Museum commemorates the student uprising against Bantu education. On June 16, 1976, about 15,000 school children gathered to protest against the introduction of Afrikaans, a language developed from the 17th century Dutch, as a medium of instruction. As the students marched peacefully to present a memorandum at the Orlando police station, armed police confronted them with gunfire. The police killed at least 600 students, including Hector Peterson, who was the youngest child to die. The police also wounded thousands and detained, tortured, charged, and imprisoned up to thousands more. As a result, up to 12,000 students fled the country. Tour guide Mama Queen explained that the water represented the tears shed for the children. This memorial reads, "In memory of Hector Peterson and all the other young heroes and heroines of our struggle who laid down their lives for freedom, peace, and democracy, unveiled by Dr. Nelson Mandela, President of the African National Congress, on June 16, 1992, erected by the African National Congress Youth League." Velosky Street is the only street in the world that have housed two Nobel Prize winners, Archbishop Desmond Tutu and former President Nelson Mandela. The Nelson Mandela National Museum, known as Mandela House, is a single-story red brick matchbox built in 1945. In 1946, Nelson Mandela and his first wife, Evelyn, moved in. In 1958, second wife, Winnie, joins Mandela. Daughters continue to live here while Winnie is banished to Brantford for exile. From 1986 to 1996, Winnie returns from exile to Orlando and lives with daughters. July 28, 1988, the house was burned to the ground by a fire. The community helped them rebuild it. September 1997, Mandela donated the house to the Soweto Heritage Trust, of which he was the founder, to be run as a museum. March 16, 1999, the house was declared a National Heritage Site. Inside the house hosts some original furnishings and memorabilia, including photographs, citations given to Nelson Mandela. The bedspread is furred to signify Nelson Mandela's royal roots. His father was a chief by blood and custom. Between organizing against apartheid and being in prison, Mandela spent little time at home. It is Winnie who became publicly subjected to harassment, torture, and imprisonment. Police persecution of her and her family was unremitting. The apartheid government by this time recognized her own political involvement and strong popular support, and she became a target in her own right. The security police knocked down the front door of 8115, hurling bricks through the window, and fired shots at the house and its occupants, the first of many such incidents over the ensuing years. The bullet holes from attacks on the house are still visible here in the wall. The photo is courtesy of Alf Romelo. Winnie Mandela, exact date unknown, but before her banishment from Soweto in 1977. This is a photo of Winnie at the front gates of the house in the 1970s after her release from 500 days of imprisonment. The various bannings and house arrest orders confined her to the boundaries of 8115 for at least 12 hours every day. Photo courtesy of BAHA. Among her other activities, Winnie and other women embarked on mass action to protest the apartheid government's passed laws. She was arrested along with 1,000 other women. She was appalled by the inhumane prison conditions. This intensified her resolve to drive struggle action. I am the product of the masses, of my country, and the product of my enemy. 1996, Winnie Mandela. Rest in peace, mother of the nation. Mandela came back to the house after his release from prison in 1990, despite suggestions from government officials that he find a safer home. At the rally welcoming him home to Soweto, his opening words were, "I have come home at last." R.I.P. Tata, Father Mandela, 1918 to 2013. I hope you enjoyed your tour of Soweto with me. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.